Welcome back to another episode of Rap and Reason Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins. What's going on, man?
And this episode 21?
21. Yeah.
21, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. Just got off a 4 mile run. So I'm feeling good, bro. I see all the homies from back home running half marathons, full marathons. And I'm like, yo, what am I doing? Like, I need to get active, get in the gym and start running outside a lot more often. You know what I mean? And plus, it's just good for the soul, like just to be
Yeah.
out there, taking in the scenery while also getting, the blood flowing in a different way. So yeah, that's what I kind of been on, bro. And then doing the holiday decorating, that's a must. We still haven't put up our tree yet at the crib, but we got to get to that. Maybe once I get off the pod. Honestly, it's long overdue. Yeah, man.
Nice, bro.
What
Yeah.
about you, brother?
Let me tell you, I haven't been running. I'll tell you that much. I'm not a runner, man. I've been in the gym, but I've been doing more lifting than anything. I've
Mm.
always hated running, man. I started doing more like getting on the punching bag and all of that as cardio because I would do any type of cardio to avoid running. I just
Mm.
don't like it. Every now and then I hop on the treadmill, but yeah, no, it's one of those things. I think it's a mental thing. We talked about that before, man. I think it might be a mental block when it comes to running for me. Like I just have no motivation in that arena. Yeah, maybe one day I'll overcome that barrier. It ain't gonna be today, but maybe one day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it has been dope, man. Been working. Just today I actually took my students to a record store in town, man, and they got to dig through the crates, and get that experience of getting
Oh.
their hands on some real hip hop. It was
Mm.
cool, man. Shout out to Creep Records in Westchester, PA. They have one in Philly too. But yeah, they showed a lot of love, man. Had all the hip hop records set out where students can go through them all and try to find albums that they've learned about in class or artists and features from artists that we've learned about in class. And it was cool to see how into it they were, man. So shout out to Creep Records. Great time. It was great taking my students out on that little field trip, man. I saw they implement these
Yeah.
little field trips, even though college usually doesn't involve a lot of those. But I think it's cool to sometimes get out of the classroom and be able to get out there.
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah. And it's crazy that you said that because this past weekend was Final Con. And I didn't even think about it until
Mm,
now, but maybe that could have been
I
like
didn't know that was
I
a
just
thing.
I just think physical media and shout out my boy Kobe for hooking me up with tickets to Final Con. But I just think physical media, bro, you don't really appreciate it until it's literally in your hands. Like everything's
Yes.
digital now, you know what I mean? So going to a record store or going to a comic book shop like I used to do, like it's not a lost thing. Like you can still access them and you should appreciate them. Especially when it's local too. So that's dope that you had an opportunity to show your students that too. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and it's always dope to do because, like you said, man, they're not. That's not on their day-to-day basis. They're not dealing with physical media anymore, and I think
Mm.
that watching them like go through the CDs and be like, "Oh wow, I forgot about this song or this album," and even the manager there going and putting some of the records on and cleaning off some of the vinyls and throwing them on the record player. It was just a dope experience for them, man, because they didn't grow up in the physical music era, really.
Yeah.
By the time they were teenagers and their streaming had already fully taken over, so they're not even in the CD generation. Like, so it's yeah, it was dope experience, man. Anytime you can expose them to real media, I definitely try to make that my mission too. This is the second time we've done it, and I definitely think I'm gonna keep every time I teach that hip hop class for sure. That's gonna be like a recurring field trip thing.
Yo, this is why I love my dad because like right when I started buying music, that was right when people were still going to record stores or Walmart to get, physical copies or whatever, but it wasn't booming like it was in the early 2000s, 90s, and years before that. So ringtones was like the only access I really had as a kid. Bro, I ran up my dad's cell phone bill a couple times, bro. You know how many
Oh,
Soldier Boy songs I downloaded, bro?
you was the ringtone kid.
I was a ringtone kid. And if I couldn't buy a ringtone, if my dad, you know what I'm saying, took that away from me, I would just record it on the radio, like on
That's
my
what I used to
phone.
do. That's
Come
what I
on, bro. That's the cheat code.
Yeah, that was the plug, man. Recording it. Go ahead, record that ringtone, put your phone up to the speaker and record that song that you want. That's what that was my move. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, same thing, man. And it's funny, man. I always say like music been a part of my life for so long. I don't even like ever since I can remember, like even as a little kid, I remember I had a Walkman. Like I had when
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
like probably like 4 or 5. That's like my earliest memories of music. I remember getting a Walkman for like I don't know if it was my birthday or Christmas or something. But yeah, music's always been around, man.
Yo, and it's crazy that there's still old heads that still play the speakers out loud for when nobody wants to hear it. Like when I last was in Westchester, bro, there was an old head. I'm like, he was playing a speaker and had it on his shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing? This is not even like the place for this. Like, there's no place for this, but especially not Westchester. You know
Westchester,
what I mean?
Westchester, Pennsylvania is definitely not the place.
Crazy,
I've
bro.
seen that guy before too. That's why it's funny.
Bro, nodding his head, like
Yeah,
looking at folks
vibing.
that aren't looking at him. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? But he's just living life, bro. I can't
Yeah,
knock it.
kicking it, bro. But yeah, man, look, it's been a big week for hip hop already, man. Last
Yeah,
week was
huge.
one for the books,
Mm.
and we have to start off like this. We cannot. First, let's start off before we actually break down the album.
Mm.
What were your thoughts, and where were you when you first realized that Kendrick had dropped a new album?
So I was at my desk in my home office and I was like, there's no way, bro. Because you text me. You were the first to tell me. I was like, there's no way this dude did that for real. I'm thinking like he dropped like a song, a music video, something before the Super Bowl. I had in my mind, I was like, he has to drop something before the Super Bowl because like if he does like some Eras tour or like, type of performance, like it'll be great. It'll be cool. But I feel like that's uncharacteristic. I feel like he has some cooking. He just has too much momentum going into the end of the year to not put out a song. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, but when he dropped out a whole album, GNX, bro, I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah, bro, that was my exact same thoughts. Like, so the first time, so I saw him drop the promo, which was crazy, but and I saw the promo drop,
Mm.
and the crazy thing is he dropped the promo for a song that's not on the album, which lets me think that that might be on a future album, like how he did Broccoli on the last. But he dropped
Mm.
that promo, and I posted it instantly to my story when I saw it. I was like, oh, dope, he putting out a new song. I
Mm.
promise you, I've never seen anybody drop a promo for an album and then like it couldn't have been more than an hour later. You dropped the album. I was like, oh, yo, this is what we're gonna jump right into it after the promo. Okay. Yeah, bro. And it was crazy. I was just like, oh, he put out a whole I almost didn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, nah, this is not a Kendrick album. And I was like, oh, he really just dropped this out the blue, man. So it was exciting though, man. It was exciting. It brought me back. I can't remember a time where I've been that excited for an album to drop in a minute.
In a minute, bro. Like I think the last time I got that excited, I'm willing to say it was Jay-Z 444. I think that was
Yeah,
the last time where I was like, whoa. Like the
the
world
same.
just froze in my mind. I was like, whatever I have to do. I was on assignment too. I was like, F that. If my editors listen to this, sorry, you got it done. You got it though. So but I froze for a minute, like, yo, I don't care what else is the priority. This is the priority right now. And how did you feel about the album when you listened to it, bro?
I'm gonna be so going through it, man. Oh, all in all, bro, I rock with it heavy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so off the first joint, like I would say, well, first let me talk more in totality. Out of the 12 songs that are on this record, I'm gonna go. I'll probably really rock with 8. Heavy, like really love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. How
It's a,
many songs are on it? 10?
I think it is 12. Let me see.
12? Okay.
Yeah, there's 12. There's 12 joints on here. I love 8 of them.
Okay.
So, which is a great ratio, man. Yeah, and I would say it's a little top heavy. I think I like the first half more than I like the second half, but
Mm.
man, bro. So just to get into the songs that stood out to me the most, the ones I love, and I'll talk a little more deeply about them too. Whacked Out Murals, the intro, the energy on that one, just the
Yeah.
anger I hear in his voice and his tone in that song. I mean, it really was an intro of Let Me Air Everything Out. And we'll get more into the Lil Wayne, all that stuff too.
Mhm.
Squabble Up was fire because it was dope to finally hear where he was going with that teaser that he put on the Not Like Us video.
Mhm.
So and that sample from Debbie Deb, I did not see that coming. I didn't see that song
Yeah.
sounded completely different than I imagined it in my head.
Mhm.
But I loved it. Luther with Scissor Fire. Man at the Garden, one of my favorite joints on here, man. That song, it resonated with me so much. Like what just the entire messaging of it. When I listened to it the first time, I was like, yo, he is talking directly to me. Like I felt the
Mhm.
messaging in that song wholeheartedly. Hey now I could skip. I wasn't really feeling that when I'll be honest.
Mhm.
It wasn't for me. You know what I mean? I spent some time on the West Coast, but I'm not from the West Coast, and that one is a little too West Coast for me. It's too
Mm.
new. I love West Coast music, but it's too the Kitty era of West Coast. These new young guys, that sound doesn't necessarily resonate. The Blueface sound, I'm not really. It's not my bag. I'm gonna be honest. Some of it is cool, but overall, that sound doesn't necessarily resonate with me
Mm.
that way. Sometimes it can, if done well, like really, really well. I'll be like, oh no, this is hard. Like that, what's the name of that song that came out with the little dance to it? Right, left. Let me see you do it. What song is that? It might be
Oh,
called
I
Right,
don't
Left.
even know this. I know the song, but I don't know the
That, like
name.
that, like that West Coast song hard to me. Like when I first heard that, I was like, I like this. But
Mm.
like, so it can work, but a lot of times I don't. So
Yeah.
hey, now I didn't like reincarnated. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Uh great, great tribute to one of the greatest to me, probably to me, I always say the most important rapper.
Mhm.
Some people say the greatest, the best lyricist, the best this, the best that. To me, Tupac is probably the most important rapper in hip hop history to me. Um, and his music resonated with me in a different way than any other artist. And I'll say that like he not only used a beat and sampled a beat from Tupac, but he used one of my favorite Tupac songs. So this one I was in
Mhm.
immediately. Made in Words is one of my favorite Pac songs, and it's actually on the soundtrack. It's not even like a main Pac song, which is why I know like I thought, oh, he really listens to Tupac
For
because
sure.
yeah, that's one of those and fire. Like, and I thought that what he did with that, and we could talk a little bit more about that too in a minute. But I even think what he did with the storytelling on that one was fire. Um, TV off. I started off not liking it, and then when that beat switched, I changed my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one brought me in, and that's going viral. Of course, the memes. Dodger Blue, that was cool. Wasn't my type of
That's crazy. Okay.
Dodger
All right.
Blue. I mean, I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't
Mm.
mad at it. It wasn't bad, but I was it didn't resonate with me like that. It wasn't a song that I would go back to.
Mm.
Peekaboo, not at all for me. Not
Crazy.
not in the
Okay.
not in the least
Uh,
bit. I would never revisit that. Like that's not me. But you know what
that's
I do
crazy.
respect about how he did this? It
Mhm.
reminds me, and I wonder if he took a page off of this when he was doing it. Some of these songs remind me of what Pac did with the Outlaws. Um, how
Mm.
he took
I
some
like that
rapper,
too.
how he took some artists who we didn't really know, never heard of, some younger cats, and
Mhm.
and put them all over songs. That's kind of the feel I got from some of these records. Of like, okay, I'm gonna put on my homie, I'm gonna put on some of the more the up and coming West Coast guys, and throw them on some of these songs. And it's gonna be super West Coast. It's gonna be super like that's the vibe it's gonna be, and that's all good and dandy. Is that I don't want to hear it.
Mhm.
I love them. I love what he's doing, but it's not. I'm just not the Peekaboo
Mhm.
demographic. But Hard Part Six, amazing,
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 bro.
love it. Um, Gen X, eh. I'm also it's
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean? Not one of my favorite songs. And then Gloria with Scissor Fire. Like so
Fire. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm I think I'm nine. I'm 9 for 12.
Okay.
Now that I go through it, I'm 9 for 12 are songs that I really, really rock with. And like four that are like amazing, like some of my favorite Kendrick songs now. So that's saying a lot. Like Man at the Garden, Reincarnated, those are like I was blown
Mhm.
away listening to those songs. Like it was like he really brought you into the storytelling in a different way. All right? So what did you think about the album? What's your breakdown?
Bro, I think like it's crazy because this is why this pod, we've said why the pod is good. Because the polarity, like the things that you'll sometimes love, I'll sometimes and vice versa.
Mhm.
I love 10 out of 12 of these songs, bruh. And
Mm.
the two songs that you said you love the most are the ones I don't like the most.
Oh,
Literally, bro.
you don't like Reincarnated?
No.
How?
And I so okay. So
How is this possible?
I don't like reincarnated because like I understand that Tupac is a huge influence. Probably his biggest. Him and early Jay-Z is probably his biggest musical influences. You know
Right.
what he said in in interviews
Yeah.
and stuff over the years. But I don't paying tribute is cool. I just didn't think this song cut through for me, only because it's too Pacish, like
But
ironically, pun intended. But it's too Pacish. Like I don't like that. It sounds like an imitation, whereas I would have wanted just to hear something not that. Like I can't even explain it.
mm,
It's just it sounds like an imitation, and I don't really like that because Kendrick has had flashes where he reminds me of a Tupac in his messaging, but he's not doing the same cadence, same flow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and
Eh,
I
but-
get he's using a sample, like he's sampling one of his records, but I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather have heard him implore like a maybe like an interlude in the song where it's like we can hear Pac or something, like rather than what he did. I just wasn't really feeling it.
That's
It's yeah.
different. Okay.
Yeah,
And see,
I it's
mine was polar opposite. I thought it was dope because of number one, with the theme of the song being reincarnated, it was almost like I'm becoming Pac as far as the message,
mm,
as far as like how he's rapping it, as far as the flow and cadence. But I also thought it was dope, like the storyline. So I'm still trying to figure out who the first artist he's speaking from the
yeah. I
perspective.
don't know who he's talking about. I
The second
thought
one, the
uh,
second one is Billie Holiday. I could tell that one immediately when I heard it.
yeah.
Billy is from the perspective of Billie Holiday. I was trying to figure out the first.
Is the first one Stevie or no?
No, he said it was somebody who dead
Never mind.
he named the person being gone. So it had to be somebody who was
Oh,
dead. So I didn't at first I thought Jimi Hendrix, but then he said he was from Michigan, and Jimi Hendrix isn't from Michigan. So
and
I
so
couldn't.
Stevie Wonder is from Michigan, but he's from Saginaw, not Flint. I think bro said Flint at the beginning. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think he just said Michigan.
Yeah, okay. And CV was born in 1950, so never mind. He said something like 1946 or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So there's a couple people who I think it could be. John Lee Hooker is one. Jimi
Oh,
Hendrix was another, but like I said, it said Michigan, so that's what threw me off with the Jimi Hendrix perspective. At first, my mind went to Chuck Berry, but then when I looked it up, I'm like, Chuck Berry
mm,
not from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So it was. I was trying to pin out who that he was talking about, but I thought it was dope how like he's speaking from one perspective there.
mm,
Then the second perspective, he's speaking from the perspective of Billie Holiday. These people who he feels like influence or he's the reincarnated version of, I thought was fire. But then he's in the third verse, him speaking from the perspective um of basically the God speaking to the devil.
yeah,
And the devil speaking back to God. I thought it was just amazing, bro. The storyteller, and I like maybe it's because I like that type of hip
yeah.
hop that speaks from different perspectives and
Mm,
and makes you have to like think like, oh, what perspective is he talking about from these songs? Like Lupe has done that a lot, and I always have loved it. So
mm.
I like that type of rap. But I could see where you're coming from as far as like not liking the Pac. But to me, that was like what made it fire. And I also think it was a low key shot at Drake because it was like you needed AI to do this. I'm going to do this myself and embody what Pac sounds like. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's
So
crazy. I didn't expect you to not like that one.
yeah, I wasn't really rocking with it. And again, like it's not as if Kendrick hasn't done similar things. Like I actually wanted to go back to
Yes,
the song "How Much a Dollar Costs." Like he was speaking of a like unhoused or homeless guy who was really
yep.
God. You know what I mean? So
He's done
he's
it a
done
lot.
that,
He's done it a
and
lot.
and it works. You know what I'm saying? It just this one just didn't work for me. Cause sonically I just wasn't really rocking with it. And then
Oh,
Man at
see.
the Garden, great lyrically, but like again, bro, it's just like, and this is also the reason because with the tonality of like the album as a whole, like those two records, like to me, took me out of the experience, like the world he created. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. So I was almost kind of like personally, me, I wouldn't be driving a black GNX listening to either of those two songs. So like maybe
Oh,
Reincarnate I would actually listen to, but I just wouldn't enjoy as much as I enjoy some of the other songs on here.
you
Yeah,
breaking
bro.
my you breaking my heart, Earl. I can't
But
believe I can't believe those are the two that I was not expecting. You threw you,
mm-mm.
you threw me for a loop with this one. I ain't
Yeah, and I know why because me, like I think I said this on the podcast, bro. When I was like 12, 13, like I used to wear big khakis, bro, like house shoes, like like the button ups from like the movies, like Don't Be a Menace while Dre was talking to you
Hilarious,
in the
bro. You
hood. Like,
thought you was from the West Coast.
bro, for real. Like, I love Snoop. I love Dr. Dre, like, and NWA, all that. Like, so I love that sound. I love that era. One of my favorite game albums is the one that it's the same on the album cover. It's the same designer who designed Doggy Style album cover. Like, I'm
Yeah.
forgetting the name of the album, but I just love that West Coast sound, like that G Funk sound. So like Squabble Up, that
Oh,
had me. It had me at the snippet
oh,
to this point. To see it to hear it in full, bro. I'm like, I wasn't like you said, I wasn't expecting him to do this, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Whacked Out Mural set the whole tone for the album, bro. On some like people give me tribute, they respect me, but yet I still have these detractors and haters, bro. And like the reasons as to why is crazy. One of
mhm.
my biggest happens to be a man named Lil Wayne. We're gonna get into it. Who I don't think Lil Wayne hates, like is hating on Kendrick for the way he feels about it, but we can get into that. But
Yeah, for sure.
like not to take it away, Hey Now is one of those West Coast songs that to me is a little bit, like you said, too West Coast. It's just a little bit. It's just not, it doesn't like, it's not as engaging as like a song like for me, like TV off. And I don't know if you're familiar with Lefty Gunplay, but I
No,
see him on a lot of like social media platforms and like on a lot of podcasts. But he's really loopy
let me
and really you can tell like he's not all the way together. You know
let
what I'm
me
saying?
let me be clear. I don't know
Yeah.
any of these West Coast rappers who are on this album.
I know,
Not name
and
one.
I'm gonna get to one of my favorite features on the album, who happens to be like an up and coming West Coast artist who was featured on Schoolboy Q's album, who was on my favorite Schoolboy Q song, like on that album,
Okay.
Blue Lips. But so Lefty Gunplay, he didn't have a verse on here, but like he was on the tail end of TV off. He was the last voice, and I'm like,
Okay.
and it made me go back to his music. I'm like, this dude make good music. If only he got his personal life together, like he would be special. Probably he could be
Okay.
special, like a less troll esque, like and more authentic 6ix9ine, like Tekashi 6ix9ine. I know that's gonna blow people away because
Mm.
Tekashi's from New York, number one.
Yeah.
What's her name is from the West Coast, but I could see parallels there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Dodger Blue to me is beautiful. All the mariachi infused like songs on here, like to do that. I know we found the woman, the singer at like a
Yeah.
Dodgers game. Like that's dope because
Yeah.
when people think about LA rap, they often forget like the Hispanic Latin influence when we have a Cypress Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like they're prominent figures in LA rap. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So I respect the fact that he even did that. Now, Peekaboo is one of my favorite songs on here, bro.
Oh
So
gosh.
that's crazy. Like
Peekaboo is crazy, man.
AZ Chike, bro. Like that man just he's gonna be special, bro. I can see it. Like he's super West Coast. He reminds me of like a young YG to an extent, but he could rap. I think he's a more lyrical version of YG. I'm not saying he'll be as big as YG because YG is a big artist in the West Coast, but I could see like comparison. I can see the comparison there. Um, I like Peekaboo because it's just so West Coast. It's goofy, bro.
I would
It's
like
goofy, but I
it's
rock with it.
way too goofy for me. Peekaboo, I would think Peekaboo was cool if a 16-year-old made it.
I rock with it, bro. I love that sound. The only song that is super West Coast that I don't really rock with is "Hey Now," like I said, but G and X. It's not a bad song.
Oh,
It's
cool.
just a posse cut that really doesn't cut through for me. Like
Yeah,
it's
no.
just because we like the game to me has some of the best modern posse cuts from the West Coast I've ever heard. Like on his what was that album with
But
like
one blood was
One Blood is fire.
the remix to that when everybody and their mom got on it.
He had Celebration off of that one project with Ali Bombay or whatever it had on there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it just GNX didn't really cut through for me as a posse cut, but he closed the album out with the Heart Part 6. I like the Heart Part 5. That's my favorite in the series, but
Mine too.
this one like stood up to the standard too, though, because he's talking about things that I've always enjoyed him talking about. It's like essentially black hippie. Like he admitted to some things I've never heard from him. I haven't seen him talk about it in interviews too, like how he basically was the reason black hippie never ascended to what we thought it could be with all of those figures. Like you had Schoolboy, you had J Rod, you had
Yeah.
Absol, like it's
How
supposed
did
to go
that,
crazy. You know what I mean?
how did that not come to fruition? Yeah. I thought it was cool that he touched on that too.
Yeah, and Gloria, like, let's just say this, yo. Every collaboration with SZA he's ever done has been pretty much
Fire.
amazing. So
Fire.
that should be no surprise to anybody. So yeah, as far as my views on the album as a whole, clearly I really like the album. Where does this sit with you as far as his past projects, and is it fair to compare it?
I think we got. I think I would need to sit with it a little bit longer,
Hmm.
to really see where I view it and see how these songs age. So
Hmm.
I hate to rank it now, but I would definitely say it's not anywhere near the top.
No.
No, it's nowhere near like Good Kid or Damn or any of that. No, but
Mm-mm.
like I said, it's probably somewhere in the realm of his last project. It's like either before or after that, depending on how I have to go back and listen to Mr. Morale again, and see because like I said, some of the songs on here I really love. Like I said, the introspective ones I like the Reincarnated, the Man at the Garden. Those ones
Mm-mm.
hold up high for me just as far as how in depth the storytelling was. The concepts were well thought out, and yeah,
Mm-mm.
and like I said, with reincarnated, he had the cheat code for me because, like I said, he sampled one of my favorite pop songs, and then I hope he redoes the video because it's actually one of the most creative videos to me too.
Yeah.
The fact that Pac is doing like the selfie thing before there was a selfie thing, you know what I mean? And it's a crazy video. So hopefully he shoots a video for that too. But I would definitely, it's definitely not above Good Kid. It's not above Damn. Um, I'll have to listen to it, sit with it to see where it is amongst like To Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I mean? Like I said, it'll
Mm.
depend on how it ages, but it's definitely not in the top two or three.
Yeah, nah. Like I think that's, and
But
I
I
was
also
talking
don't
to,
think, but I also don't think it's at the bottom. It's hard with Kendrick because Kendrick doesn't have any bad albums. Like it's above Section 80 to me. You know what I mean?
mm,
But Kendrick don't have any bad albums, so it's hard to like rank his stuff. But what
mm.
you thinking?
Yeah, so I shout out my guy Steve too. We talked about this over the weekend. Do you know how many voice memos I swapped back and forth with folks, bro? Because they didn't want to wait until the podcast episode came out. They wanted to know my views right then and there. I'm like, yo, like let me just enjoy
Mm,
it at first. But then
same.
like it didn't really take me that long to digest it. And I think that's why it was easy for me to come with like a placement area, like ballpark, but also like I think that reflects my views on the project too, because if this in fact is an album, because I want to start there. Like by all accounts, it seems like it's an official album. It's not like a collection. You know how Untitled was kind of like an album,
Yeah,
really not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm comparing it for an album because like
yeah.
I wrestle with that though because it seems like it doesn't sound like it was just put together, but it just seems like maybe this wasn't intended to be an album. It just like yo, let's just capitalize on a moment and just drop something. Like it kind of feels that way, and not in a bad way. The timing just doesn't seem like characteristically Kendrick. You know what I mean? To me,
And the reason why I don't know is the only reason why I'm kind of considering the album is because he wrote out a video for it, which we'll talk about
true. That's true.
which we'll talk about more in a second. But
Yeah.
I thought the same thing though, and I know that's the rumor going around is that he has another project coming, and that this was like a almost like a one project. Which
Yeah.
if he does that, if he drops another one before the Super Bowl, that's insane.
That's insane, bro. Like
Because
that's
like
yeah.
if your throwaway album is better than everybody else's real album, that's
That's crazy.
and this thing is gonna go number one. Let's be real.
Oh, easily, bro.
Yeah.
Easily.
So like
Yeah.
so that would be insane if this was
Yeah.
that. But so where does it fall for you?
I would say it would fall for me because okay, let's just put it plain. It's not going to be at the top. Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, those are untouchable to me. Like, you know what I mean? So we got to really think about okay, it's better than Untitled in my opinion. I actually enjoyed Untitled, even though we can't compare the two. I'm just like, for my
Yeah,
sake, I'm just raking in my mind.
yeah.
Um, do I like it better than Section 80? That's really tough. I would actually put it under Section 80. I
So
would
you putting it
actually
at the so you putting it at the very bottom then? Or what, Mr. Morale?
do.
Where is it?
I'm putting it
Oh,
above Mr. Morale. So second, and I know this is gonna sound bad, second to worst is not actually bad. It's
yeah,
really we just talked about it. It's a really good body of work in
right.
totality, but like Section 80 and like between that and Damn is like to me, you can't really it's hard to make a better album than any of those four albums, like to be honest.
Yeah,
So
and for me, I'm not even, other people are more quick to. I'm not even that quick to put it above Mr. Morale because Mr. Morale is fire. I don't like when
it's good.
I
It's
didn't have
good.
the same feelings that other people had towards that album. Like when I thought it was solid. So for me, this is somewhere in that around where that is, and I have to go back to Section 80 to see where it is. Section 80
Mm.
was just early production wise, so I think that
Yeah.
his production got better. His writing was great on there, but I think the production isn't as good as his other albums. So that's why I always put Section 80 at the bottom. Not because of the it's
Mm.
not better, but to me, I don't revisit those just because I don't like the production as much as I like his other production.
Yeah.
Um, and the quality of the album. But oh yeah, I'm probably with
Yeah.
you on that though. I think it's towards the bottom, but like I don't want to say that like it's bad because Kendrick's all his albums are fire. So it's not
Right.
like there's not a bad album to put beneath it immediately.
Exactly. And I think why I placed it there is because like, okay, I just talked about it. Like, it's easy for me to digest this, whereas other Kendrick projects is a concept that's wrapped around it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like a bunch of dope songs, like Good Kid, Mad City, made to some people on first, second, third listen may just be a collection of dope like songs. No, bro, it's a concept. It's
Mhm.
he's unraveling his upbringing in Compton. You know what I mean? Whereas this is
Uh,
just like
well,
I
I'm
want to,
not.
yeah.
I'm not so sure that this isn't a concept.
What's the
I, I
concept?
I don't know yet, but there's a lot of stuff in here I don't know. I don't know what the heck that mariachi singer is singing. I don't know what none of that means. I also don't know what perspective he's talking about on reincarnated. I also don't know. There's a few things in here that's like I don't really fully know what he's talking about yet. So I can't quickly say it's not a concept because somebody listening to Good Kid, Mad City on the first listen wouldn't think that it's a concept album. So I
I
don't know.
guess.
I'm not
But
certain that this isn't a concept album yet.
to me, the only concept that comes to mind is like, and you're right, like, because with the other albums, it takes weeks, months,
Yeah,
even
we've only had a
years
few
to really
days.
think about it. Like, it wasn't until 2 years after Mr. Morale dropped that I was like, yo, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
like for real, like, because you'll hear like hip hop, like writers, journalists, pundits, whatever. They'll tell you what the album's about, but sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not really describing it in full. So to me, this album, what it represented was the unification of the West Coast. That's what it sounded like to me, specifically LA, because I know we throw West Coast around LA. Like it seemed
Yeah.
like it was LA unification. You know what I mean? Which is reflective of the artists that he named on the song or he had on the album. Like, yo, I like put 100 hoods on one stage, like when he's referencing the pop out. That's what it feels like to me. But who knows what we'll think about in 6 months from now, a year from now. But it just seems like it's the most easily digestible upon like the first 5, 6 listens, which isn't characteristic again for most Kendrick albums in my mind. So that's why I have it where I have it too.
Okay. Okay. Man, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, makes sense. Like I said, I've listened to it. There's still some holes in here that I haven't filled. So that's why I'm like, I don't really fully know. Even how he's speaking, he's talking like rapping in these different tones of voices on some of these different songs. Like I don't know if he's speaking from different perspectives in it. Like, hey,
Mm.
now is he talking in this dark, super dang near
Yeah.
demonic voice on that
Yeah.
song? It's like I really don't know. But the more I sit with it, I feel like I'll be able to really put it in perspective more the more I sit with it, listen to it, and play it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of joints on here that I definitely will be playing that have been added to playlists. So
Yeah.
yeah, fire, man. I think the more I listen to it, I'll be able to clearly say if I like it better than Mr. Morale. But right now, it's like neck
Mm.
and neck.
Yeah, it's close. I don't want to make it seem like it's not close as it is. Because Mr. Morale, bro, I was there for the concert. I think you were there for the tour, one of the tour stops, weren't you?
No, I couldn't go. I was mad.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
dang. Okay.
I missed
Well,
that
when
one.
when you see the performance, you like,
But I
oh,
saw it. I saw it live. I saw it like I don't know if it was Amazon or somebody that actually put out they streamed his live performance. I watched that.
yeah, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So it kind of like made sense of it. Almost like I didn't go to this. You know what I mean? But from people that went to the Yeezus, like Kanye Yeezus tour, they were like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it just made it that the album that much better, in my opinion. So
Well,
yeah.
that's good. I still don't get Yeezus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
And
It'll take a couple live shows to make that make sense in my head. But
yeah.
this is yeah. So I think there'll be more, and I think the more he puts out visuals for this could also alter that. So right now he put out a video for Squabble. Do you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, so I did. So yeah, I mean, yo, what he has, Kendrick, Dave Free, what they have at PG Lang, is special, bro. Like it's a basically a multimedia focused brand company imprint, and like they do a lot of the visual side. I know it was directed by, the name escaped me. I think it was, I forgot the director's name specifically. So I'll look that up after, but the visuals are dope. It's a lot going on though, bro. Like it's a lot going on. It's in the same style as Not Like Us video to an extent. It's in one room in one setting, but it's just a lot of elements that, are synonymous with LA culture, hip hop culture even as a whole for real, but it's specifically LA culture. Certain things I'm not going to understand. I'm not from LA. So like, when they're on, like when they have like a board from like a highway or interstate, I don't really know. I read like the street names and whatnot. I don't know what that means. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah,
I see what looks to be like, a blood like crew, like, you know what I mean? Certain dances I don't get, but like for those that are in LA, bred from LA, understand LA culture, like I think this is for them. You know what I mean? And squabble, like the term is like real. Again, bro, it's just LA through and through. But as far as the visuals and everything, it's just super dope. And you can just tell where Kendrick's head is at, like from a creative standpoint, which is
yeah.
awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's some stuff that I noticed on there just from a hip hop side. Like I noticed the reference to Ice-T's album cover where he has
Mm.
where it's the woman holding the shotgun. That one I peeped that was evident. And he also has a I want to say is it a Warren G album that pops up? I think
Ooh, really?
yeah, it's somebody it's another album cover where the actual cover pops up on the screen.
Mm.
There's some West Coast he's kind of doing like a tribute to a lot of different West Coast music there. I also noticed a couple of other little funny things in there, like the book he's holding that says like how to be like Kendrick for dummies or something like that. So like there was little stuff that I paused it and was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely really, really real West Coast like. But yeah, man, I thought it was fire, man. I like the colors in it. It's just he's been doing a lot of these colorful videos since the Not Like Us, and I think it looks fire. Like, and then the crazy thing is they're not, and this is gonna get into more of a media production side, but like they're not very complex as far as like the editing. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of cuts. It's really like these big long scenes of him just around. So it doesn't look like it's like any extra like team put in to do all these like crazy edits or effects and all of that. It's really like
Mm.
these long scenes with all this stuff going on in the background. And I actually think it's fire. It's really creative.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy between the Not Like Us video and the Squabble video? Like, obviously, the song is by Kendrick, so he's at the center, like visually, like he's the focal point. But
Mhm.
yet, and still, he's not doing much, right? It almost makes it seem like from a visual standpoint, yo, I'm just immersed in this. I'm not going to be in front of your face with it. This is what made me. Everything surrounded me. Like this LA culture stuff is what I embody and it's around me. And yet, I just exist. Like that's what
Mhm.
kind of this video kind of put in my mind. You know what I mean? Like having dancers in the background and it pulls your mind everywhere else, but at the center of it is it's what is at the core of what Kendrick is about. You know what I mean? And what this album GNX seems to be about. You know what I mean? What they dropping like 3-4 days ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's dope, man.
And I also noticed like how he's even playing with the gang colors in the videos. Like the fact that at the pop out he had on all the red, and then in this
Mhm,
video he has on all the blue. Like all of those little things that he's doing in there to kind of
mhm.
represent the unification of the gangs, I think is fire. So I think that he's being very intentional about everything in these videos, which I think is cool to see. I think that it was what was missing in hip hop. I think that we talked about this last time, like even with the lyrics and music, a lot of it is just like, a chorus, and then I'm just gonna blabber about whatever I want to blabber about.
Right.
there's not as many like full concept songs anymore. Where it's like
Mhm.
this is the theme of the song, and this is what we're talking about. Like, and I think Kendrick does that well, and it's kind of like keeping that alive. So, yeah, man. So gotta salute Kendrick. Like I said, I like the album. There's a lot of replay value on this for me. Um, well, what you think about this? Him yelling at ignorant levels, mustard.
West Coast.
If I'm mustard, I'm making that my new drop.
Yo, for real though, like that is just hilarious, though. I think that I saw a news clip of a pastor like saying it like to his congregation, bro. Like just wow. So just let you know, like just how he cuts through the culture like that, bro. But dude, I wanted to ask you this before we move on too. Did you feel like this was the kind of album, as far as what we see it as? Is this the kind of album that Kendrick needed in his discography, or is it? Or he didn't need to go this super West Coast direction with a project.
I think so.
Mm, okay.
I think this fits. I think Kendrick has not really been known to put out songs that people can dance to and that could be played in the club. That's never really been Kendrick's lane. That has he had some songs that ended up transferring
Hmm.
into that? Yes. He had some songs that weren't that like, yeah, Humble or DNA or songs like that from Damn, especially, have been played in those type of settings, but you could tell they weren't created for that. They just kind of went this album seems like it's way more intentional about having some of those, you know what I mean? Not even just street records, but records that people are going to be able to bump in their cars and are more mainstream sounding. And I think it's good for his discography with him having all these, deep, super introspective. Even though he has that on this album too, I think that
Hmm.
this mix is good for his catalog. I think him having songs like a Squabble Up and like a TV Off, I think it benefits his catalog to me.
For
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. It just shows his versatility, dog. Like
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I've always admired about a Kendrick, a J. Cole. Yeah, yeah, like just the top tier rappers, they always show, yo, I got other cards up my sleeve. You know what I mean? So I think maybe not necessarily what he needed, like, because he could still like go super conceptual, introspective, and it still works, and he can still land atop the Billboard charts without it. I just think like for him to be the cultural figure in the West Coast that he himself envisions being, like I think maybe it's
Mm.
good to go this direction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that yeah, need it? No, but
Mm,
I think that it helps his catalog.
yeah.
I think
For
that
sure.
now, he has those more of those records that are synonymous with the West. And I think it gave him a chance to really put on the new generation of West Coast artists. Are they the type of West Coast artists I want to listen to
Mm.
based on what I heard there? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
I think that it's cool for him to be able to kind of throw an alley oop to the next generation of rappers from his region. To me it makes sense, And when I
Yeah.
yeah, and even I remember when he first put it out, I don't know if he still has it there, but when he first put out the album, I remember clicking on it and it's saying him having like the subtitle on the album on Apple being like Kendrick told you to watch the party die so he could resurrect it or something like that. With
Okay.
something to in that context on there, which I thought was cool. I think that this is his version of, like I said, Kendrick's never been known to make dance music.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think him even implementing some of the like on Squabble, him implementing that house music sample
Mm-hmm.
and being more intentionally about putting out songs that are for all intents and purposes dance songs. I think it adds a little versatility to his catalog for sure.
For sure. This is dope, bro.
But I
Like
can't. But you liking Peekaboo was insane.
bro, Peekaboo is hard. Peekaboo.
It's
Feel me? One of my
no.
homies, he
And
has a daughter.
it's cool in a like Blues Clues type of way, like a Dora the Explorer. I don't want to hear Kendrick Lamar ever say Peekaboo.
Yo, one of my homies said, yo, I got me and my daughter will never play that game. It's this the same. Like, that's always gonna be thinking about, yo. Like, for real, that joint hard, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's
That
not.
joint
You
hard,
know
man.
it is not. That is. He made that song joking around, and they was like, you know what? Let's keep it.
Yo, yo, matter of fact, I forgot to say this too. So I think like the element that I got out of this, like I'm gonna unify LA, you know what I mean, in a different way. I think this is also like a lesson learned in a way, because I remember on To Pimp a Butterfly, he had the song I, right? Which
Mhm.
was like, yo, it even had an intro like or outro where he was like, yo, blue and red is like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a good song, don't get me wrong, and it
Yeah.
fits on To Pimp a Butterfly, but like I don't think it really from an outsider's view, not being in LA, it didn't seem to like really put a stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he's making West Coast music, dance music essentially, and people are starting to like have rumblings of like unification. You know what I mean? Or he had to pop out where he essentially went against hip hop's biggest star, one of music's biggest star, and then did a pop out at in Inglewood, California. Like, you know what I mean? And Not Like Us is the biggest song at that moment. It's just crazy seeing like how he's going about it this way versus the I way. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's a lesson learned. And he's like, yo, in order to really shift gears or shift culture, you gotta make them dance. I don't know. I don't
You
know.
gotta you gotta make them dead. Okay. Also, we didn't really get to talk about it, man. On Whacked Out Murals,
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick has some words.
He did.
Now, actually, you know what? I want to actually pull them up so that I don't want to misquote
Okay.
anything on Whacked Out Murals. I don't even want to misquote the line. He says, and I quote, I, I used to bump the Carter 3. I held my Rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever, though. Call me crazy. Everybody's questionable. Turn me to an Eskimo. I drew the line and the decimals. Fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, and then he also talks about he won the Super Bowl, and Nas was the only one to congratulate me. All of them agitated. I'm just glad they showing their faces. What did you think of that?
Mm. So shout out Nas for showing my guy love first and foremost. Nas just seemed like he got the legendary status. He doesn't need any other affirmation, which he literally doesn't. But it seemed like
No.
he's more willing to give people their flowers. So
Yeah.
shout out to Nas for
Because
that.
Nas is his spot is solidified.
He stamped 10 times over, bro. Like it is
He
what
could
it is.
never make a song again, and he's still one of the greatest rappers to ever
He
breathe.
is good. But how I feel about it is, I don't feel like it was like by any means a massive blow. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's pointing out the obvious. It's like you would expect someone of Wayne's stature, and someone who's been stamped, um, multiple times over himself, that he wouldn't really take to social media or like other platforms to kind of let out his discretions or to be upset about, you know what I mean, what the situation was. Like, did it make sense for Wayne to be the Super Bowl headliner with it being in New Orleans? I would say in any other circumstance, yes. But the reality is like Kendrick had one of the biggest years we've seen in a rapper in a long time. And I think he was expecting like an OG to maybe accept that. You know what I mean? I understand like Wayne feeling the way he did, but I think the way he went about it, I think that rubbed Kendrick the wrong way. And so that's why he made that line, made this song. You know what I mean? Where
And
he's like, yo, you can't really put a stain on what I've done. And you being you, like having been in my position, like I think he would understand that. So I understand why he took that jab. Ironically, is similar to he said Nas thanked him. Cole made a song Let Nas Down. So I see the parallel there too, kind of. But yeah, I think it was warranted, to be honest. What do you think?
um, yeah, I think it was warranted to clear it up, and I think it was big. I kind of see both sides on this one a little bit, and I think it's because I wouldn't expect Wayne to congratulate Kendrick Lamar, seeing that Wayne's artist is now in beef with Kendrick.
Hmm.
Wayne being the one who discovered Drake, even if I don't even know if they're that close, but even if they're not, it still optically looks crazy. So I would understand that, but I also think that with Wayne going on interviews and on stage at Louisiana Fest and going up there and saying, I've been robbed and they stole this opportunity from me and being so vocal about it, I can see why Kendrick was like, all right, I need to address this.
Yeah.
All right, now there's another topic I want to bring up. This is not on the list. Shout out Brandon for creating this list of topics, but this one isn't on there. Lil Wayne then goes off and says on Twitter or X, man, what the F I do? I just be chilling and they still come from my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed.
Oh my, I love the
On,
the
on,
sounds.
on,
Yeah.
on me, not on
I love the
you.
way you put that. Yeah.
Love.
Okay. All
What,
right.
so now let's do a hypothetical situation.
Okay.
Wayne, Kendrick,
Mm.
diss records. What's happening?
Mm. Now, I don't want Kendrick's like hot streak. I don't want that to blind y'all. Lil Wayne can really rap. Really rap. I think my hesitation is that I've personally never seen Wayne in a high profile rap beef with him actually going back and forth, like from diss record to diss record. Now, we know him and Pusha T like had a moment because him and Drake bumped heads. Pusha T, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And so Wayne would throw jabs here and there, but it never amounted to like something like major. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure like if you look back years past, I'm sure there's other beasts, but again, it's never spilled over to like a Kendrick Drake level. So I think you're playing with he would Wayne would be playing with a dog with sharpened teeth. Like I don't think this is the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like to go at a Kendrick, and I think he would ultimately take the dub on that one, bro. It would be close, but he would take the dub. I think he's in that mindset right now. He's in that mode.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm coming from too. The socially consciousness in me thinks that there should be peace, and it is,
Hmm.
and I don't want to see it happen. But the rap fan in me,
Yes.
I want to see this.
The devil on your shoulder would love
I
to see
want to see this badly, actually. The
it.
battle rap fan of me really wants to.
Yo.
Wayne versus Kendrick would be insane. We would get some great records out of that. But at the same time,
Mm.
yeah, I also think I just don't think anybody really want to play with Kendrick right now. I just think he's operating on a different frequency than everybody else right now.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think that he's just in that mode, and I think that I also, as dope of a rapper Wayne is also a very easy target. He has a lot. There's a lot to talk about there.
Dang.
A
Yeah.
lot to talk about
It's a
there.
lot, bro.
There's a lot. And I'm not even just talking about now. You could think from now all the way. Just think back about 15 years.
Mm.
Just think back. There's a lot.
Oh,
The
yeah. There's
drugs,
a
the stuff with
lot.
him and Baby, the
Yeah. Oh, you could go so
there's a
many directions.
lot. There's
It's
just a
documented.
lot. The Trump stuff. It's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that happen to Wayne. I don't want Wayne's legacy to look like what Drake's is becoming.
Not one of the goats, bro.
No.
And you know
No.
if
Wayne is too Wayne is a legend, man. I don't damn.
and if I'm
And I
Drake,
feel like Kendrick is gonna go all in. I don't think he's taking nothing easy. So as we've
imagine,
seen,
yeah, imagine dismantling if it were to happen. Imagine dismantling like a Lil Wayne, like how meaningful he is to rap and rap, hip hop culture. Like that would be another pin on his you know what I'm saying, on his shoulder or whatever
it
to put it
would,
on. Yeah.
and Kendrick has also proclaimed publicly how big of a Wayne fan he is.
He has too. So I know partly he doesn't even probably want to do it.
He don't want to, and I think that, but I also know how he probably read this tweet of like, "Oh, this is a threat."
It is. Let me go to the studio. I
Yeah,
guarantee he's loading up 3 records right now.
there's no doubt in my mind that there's already Wayne this record.
Yo, there's no doubt in my mind he's making that call. Mustard! You know what I'm saying? 100%. And
No,
yo, to be honest, if I'm Drake, I would tell Wayne, hey, big homie, like, you don't have to fight my battles for me. Like, I'm good. Like, we good off that. We're moving on. Because then it seemed like little brother saving or big brother saving little bro. And that's not a good look for Drake either. That's another misstep, in my opinion.
yeah, I would agree there. I think that would be a misstep, but I think that Wayne is, like I said, Wayne can rap, like
Really rap, bro. He's great. He's
like
amazing.
amazing rapper, amazing lyricist. Even on the song they have together, you hear it. Like they both go crazy.
Mhm.
on Mona Lisa. If you ever never heard Mona Lisa, highly recommend checking it out. Some more storyteller from Kendrick and Wayne, and I think it's fire. But I yeah. Like I said, the rap fan in me wants to see it. I'm not about to sit up here and play holier than thou. I want to see this happen. But
Yes.
another piece of me is like, no, we don't hip hop doesn't need that, you know.
Not that, bro. Not to go nuclear. Like
I don't think Kendrick has a mode other than nuclear right now. I'm gonna be honest. I just
at
don't.
this point, nah. I think he's ready for everything, everybody right now.
And in the way he's talking on the song, even if you talk about whacked out on whacked out murals on that same song, like his temperament, it just sounds like I'm ready for war, you know. And I just think people I don't think it would be a wise move right now. But
Everybody,
if you're
yeah,
feeling
leave him alone.
froggy, leap though, because I want to see.
Yeah,
The hip hop fan in me would love to witness this whole situation play out.
absolutely. And let's transition too because this is a part of the album we talked about. We breezed over slightly. Like, is SZA like being a part of this album? But she also previewed or like alluded to her dropping a new album before the end of the year. What are your thoughts on a new SZA album, my guy?
So I'm probably gonna make you mad here. I'm don't listen.
Yeah,
I don't listen to SZA, nor do I ever intend to. Now yeah. Now,
Lord.
hey, after you know what?
Oh.
After you said you didn't like reincarnated, I am happy to see that. Okay, because I cannot believe you disrespect that. So,
Wow.
I don't listen to SZA. My mom listens to SZA.
Yes,
My girlfriend listens to SZA.
she should.
I am not in her demo. There's nothing about her music that makes me want to listen. But I will say, her features I love. All the features I hear
Amazing.
from her, I love. I think they're amazing. She just doesn't make music, and I'm a big R&B guy. She just doesn't make R&B music that resonates with me.
Yeah.
Um, like there are plenty of women in R&B who I love. I'm a big Aaliyah person. Like I listen to Aaliyah all the time. Like I like Mariah Carey. Like
Mm,
um I like Janae Aiko. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
there's R&B artists who their music I can listen to and it fits my temperament. Hers sounds I want to whine about what I'm going through with a man, and that just does not resonate with me. You know, it's the voice, it's the kind of
Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't really fit me. So am I looking forward to it? No, but shout out to SZA because like I said, I also can acknowledge that her music is good though. From
Yeah.
what I've heard, she can sing really great. The songs are written well. Like the music, I can tell by listening to it that it's good. It's just not for me. Um,
Yeah.
so shout out to her. I'm sure it's gonna do numbers though, because like I said, when I ask my students, when I have them go around and like say who their favorite artist is at the beginning of the semester, it's a lot of SZA. Like this, she had this new generation, like the young generation, the freshman, sophomore, 18, 19, 20. She got them on lock. Like they
Yeah,
love
bro.
SZA. Of all
Yeah.
races, white, black, they all are really big SZA fans. So
For sure. It's like how I would describe it is it's amazing music. I'll say that. But it's also, I think it resonates with that group because it's dorm room like music. Like I'm sulking because such and such down the hall ain't really rocking with me. Like, let me turn on some SZA. Like I think there's elements, certain songs that like really speak to them, that demographic. But yeah, like I've been a big SZA fan since I mean, honestly, like since like Control. Like I wasn't really hooked on her like mixtapes. I think once she really established firm feet with RCA, like that's when I really was rocking with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she just makes, like I said, just good music. And the music that she decides to rap on. Like there's a couple records on SOS, which is another great album of hers. Like she started rapping and she was solid, bro. You know what I'm saying? So she's versatile. She even had a country S song on there, which I don't like. But it's the fact it
Mhm.
just speaks to her versatility as an artist, man. I just love her voice. Like her voice is just soothing, but like, when she decides to make a song about getting her lick back with like a dude who, played her or whatever, it still hits. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah,
think, bro, for her to be the first lady of TDE, essentially, like before Doechii, obviously, like it's kind of crazy, like
yeah,
how
no.
they molded her as an artist, though, ain't it, though?
Yeah, no, it really is. I think that they've done a great job with
Mhm.
branding SZA and and making her really transcend out of R&B to really more pop. I feel like SZA's really more of a pop artist to me. I think she's transitioned into more popular music. Um, but I don't.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't put her in neo soul
Nah.
or really even R&B. A lot of her stuff I hear now that I've heard more recently, it sounds popish to me.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think she's still R&B. I just think she slides on pop records like here and there. I think she's working with certain writers. I think she worked with Leon Thomas, whose album is truly like soul R&B. Mutt, if you haven't listened to it, listen to Mutt. But he worked on her with the song Snooze, which I think Justin Bieber was on there. So she has moments where she does something like pop-esque, but I think the bulk
When,
of her music is still R&B
when,
leaning though.
when I
Yeah.
think of R&B, when I think of women in R&B, I'm thinking Jasmine Sullivan. I don't hear soul when I
Mm,
hear SZA's voice. That's not what I hear.
mm,
I hear. It's gonna sound like I'm not gonna say that one. I hear. Yeah, I don't hear soul. I don't hear like the
mm.
soul that I think of when think of R&B in her voice. I hear it's more light. It's more I don't know airy. It's not. It's more of that. When I think of what I think of Fantasia, Jasmine Sullivan, those
Okay.
are the voices I think of when I think of R&B. Even on the more mellow side, even like in Aaliyah, like where it's still like in a almost yeah, this is a different pocket. Now I think SZA has some R&B songs that sound like
Mm,
R&B, but most of
yeah.
the stuff that I've heard, and it's like I said, I don't dive into her albums much, so I'm listening to the hits, the hits
Yeah.
that I hear of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that just speaks to her versatility though. Cause she can make, like I said, like a hip hop, like a oh you really in like baggy jeans type jump, like making this like you know what I'm saying, in a
Mm.
hoodie with it tied up, like you know what I'm saying, like so she has that, but then she have
Yeah.
that eerie like, and I know she from Jersey, but like almost like Southern Cal like type of
I did know she
Philly
was from
R&B.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Interesting.
she grew up in Jersey, not even that far from Philly for real, like dang
Um,
near in between. If I'm not mistaken, bro, it's probably more
Camden.
central. Uh, nah, where's she from? Like I don't know, bro. There's so many cities in New Jersey.
Yeah, where's SZA from? Let's see.
Yeah.
She from shoot, they got St. Louis, Missouri. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh,
Oh, she was raised at Maplewood, New Jersey, though.
Maplewood. I don't even. Is that North Jersey?
I have
I
no
don't know.
clue. I don't
Folks
know.
would know
I don't know where Maplewood is, but yeah, like I said, extremely talented. Like I said, her voice doesn't resonate with me. But like I said, everybody,
mm,
a lot of people around me love it. So if they love it, I love it.
for sure.
But so shout out SZA. I'm sure you will come. You can come on here. She's not a hip hop artist, but you can come on here and let us know what you think when it drop.
For sure. Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't think she's dropping an album though. Like I think like
Think she's sending people
she
off?
blowing smoke. I think she's blowing smoke.
Uh,
It wouldn't surprise me though if she. I mean, she said it, so it shouldn't surprise me. But because SOS, she dropped SOS in December of 2022, which was like to me odd timing. But you know, she could do the same thing. I just because if she does that, it'll cap off like a sneaky TDE run that nobody is talking about. To be honest, I know Kendrick isn't a TDE artist, but he's definitely a TDE affiliate,
oh yeah, for sure.
and
He's still
he had
synonymous. He's gonna always be synonymous with TDE.
for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, he still has ownership in TDE. So also
Mm,
makes sense. Like he has actual equity into it. Unless he sold it when he departed. I don't know that. I'll have to dig deep into that if it's even revealed. But he definitely has stake in it. So he's very much still TDE. You know what I mean? In that
nice.
way.
Not,
So yeah.
yeah. Shout out SZA, man, and I think her features on that Kendrick album, fire. Like I said,
Fire.
I love her on the features I've heard her on. She blends well into songs, and she kind of creates a different vibe in them. Like I said, like a Janae Aiko to me. To a
Yeah.
certain,
Listen to SOS, man.
I'm
Let
not
me
gonna.
I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Bro, it's great music. Like,
I don't want her. You know what it is.
mhm.
It's the whiny voice with the lisp, and then it's also these N words, this and this and this and that, and they
She's
do
a
me
crystal
wrong.
girl.
It's very
That's what I
whiny.
call it.
Yeah, I didn't have the best, I've had good times and bad times with that type. I don't like
With the
it.
earthy crystal lights. You know what I
That is
mean?
a perfect analogy for SZA.
Oh, for
She's that,
sure. Bro, she talks about it.
she is
Yeah.
literally that type.
Yeah, like
That type has
the
scarred me, man. I don't have the best.
I'm trying to think. What's the stuff they like light up not
It's
incense.
you talking
Is
about
it?
no, you're not talking about incense. Incense are what you light up, but you're talking about sage. I'm sure. I'm assuming.
Sage. Yeah. Sage gal.
I burned some sage in my day.
That's hilarious. I don't even know where to get sage, bro. That's crazy.
Nah, I'll play it maybe.
Yes, man.
All right, SOS is the best one.
No, control is the best one, but SOS I think is more palatable for you. Because honestly, bro, like she's not. Is she a worlds apart from like? Never mind. I was about to say something silly, bro.
Come on, go ahead, go
Like
ahead.
clearly she is like a
Oh,
sir. Like is she on a completely
oh,
different plane?
completely different.
Yeah, you're right.
Night and day.
That's like a terrible analogy.
Sir is I would say R&B and hip hop. It's like he's like a merging of like some
Yeah,
of his songs are very hip hop adjacent, but like
she's closer to a Ariana Grande than she would be a.
that's 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 closer to where she falls. And that's why I said pop.
Yeah,
Ariana Grande is pop. That's what I'm saying. That's what
but
I'm not
Ariana
saying
is like
pop
pop
sounds
pop.
like an insult, but pop is really just like your sound is more main, like it sounds. Yeah, it sounds commercial. It sounds commercial. Like how
Yeah,
Most Def said it perfect. It sounds like it could be playing in the mall.
I wouldn't give her that though.
Bro,
Like I, I
I could
wouldn't give her that.
100% hear some SZA songs in the mall.
You'll hear SZA songs, but like I'm a artist person, so like I try to listen to bodies of work. Like if you listen to Love Galore, if you listen to Snooze, like of course that's going to be played in Hot Topic. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
what I'm saying.
yeah, when I listen to full bodies of work, I'm like, bro, she's just too versatile for me to say. But yeah, she makes pop songs. Like she can make pop songs for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ariana Grande got some R&B. I didn't know that until my girlfriend showed me some Ariana Grande.
yeah.
Ariana Grande got some ballads, like
She
some
got like some heat, bro.
real
Because
song.
yeah, because if you like, because I like Victoria Monet. Like I'm a big Victoria Monet fan. Victoria used to write for her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So she got some R&B stuff where it's like, you sung this? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of Ariana Grande, let me tell you about how I got tricked to seeing this movie Wicked this week.
Oh my God, you got tricked into
Not
seeing it?
not tricked, but it's partially my fault. So I knew that Wicked was a spinoff of The Wizard of Oz. I've heard about the play. I knew
Hmm.
that it was a spinoff of The Wizard of Oz that was about the witches. For some reason, like my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you want to see Wicked with us?" And I was like, in my mind, I thought it was dark. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a real witch movie, like dark, like almost." I don't know what I
Yeah.
envisioned, man. That was High School Musical with some witches in it, bro. I was like, man, what am I watching? Now it did get good towards the like the end, but it was long,
Yeah.
bro. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, bro.
And it's
Like
only part one, dog.
that's the crazy part. And it was good. It wasn't bad, but the more they could have trimmed the fat. That movie did not need to be 2 hours and 40 minutes long. They could have cut a
Yeah.
good hour out of that of meaningless high school stuff. They could have just cut all that out. But
Yeah.
it was funny, man. I should have I learned. Don't ever go see a movie that my girlfriend recommends without looking at the trailer.
You definitely got to look at the trailer. Bro, I'm a snob, bro, because I'm a cinephile. That just means like you watch a lot of movies. For those that never heard the term, like you're like really a movie buff. Like
Yeah.
that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching.
But I didn't know what you just called yourself. I was gonna say, brother, is this something you want to tell me?
No, that's why I had
Tell
to
yourself. I
clarify.
really got filed at the end, bro. I got worried. I was about to get on Google. Like, what he just saw him?
Yo, and for the sake of YouTube, cinephile, brother. Yeah. Don't flag us for no misinterpretations. You dig? But yeah, so I'm reading movie reviews. Like I'm reading the New York Times art section. Like, is this
Mhm.
worth my money and time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Wicked. I saw the Broadway production, so
I want to see it on Broadway.
bro, it's fire. I'm not gonna lie to you,
I'm
it's fire.
I'm a big Broadway person, so I haven't seen. I've been watching plays since I was in high school.
Yeah, I gotta see the Michael Jackson one that comes here
Me
in
too.
January, bro. I got you.
Same. I'm trying to grab tickets to that too, man. I gotta see that one. But this, I saw the Temptations one that was in Philly, then it was fire.
It had to be fire.
A
Had to
fire.
be. Yeah.
Amazing singers. Like they sung some of those songs better than the Temptations. I didn't know that was possible. Like
That's
how would they
crazy.
have played David Ruffin song better than David Ruffin? No, like
That's crazy. And David Ruffin can really
it's one
sing
of the
good.
greats. He
Yeah,
was like that. Yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah. And speaking of that, speaking of performance too, how do you feel about HBCUs playing hip hop songs during college football games, bro, or halftime show? What do you think about that, dog?
Fire. They make me wish I went to HBCU, man. So
Facts.
maybe at some point in my career I had to, teach at one or a lecture at one. I've given guest lectures at HBCUs, man, and
Hmm.
gotten to experience. I've been down to Texas Southern and gotten to see some of the bands, man, and it's a sight to see. They
For
make
real.
other bands look trash. Like when you go, if you go see an HBCU band play, and then you go to like a random school and see their band, you like, bro, this is trash.
Hmm.
Like they take it to an entirely different entertainment experience from the band leaders with the dancing it's a
Dude, bro.
whole thing. And I think it's dope, man. And I think that now you have a lot of hip hop artists who are making songs for that. Hip hop and R&B artists who are kind of making songs with that in mind. Like there was a video that just went viral of Tyler the Creator Sticky being performed by HBCU band. I can't remember if was it Jackson State?
Jackson State, yeah.
Yeah,
Fire, bro.
yeah, going crazy, and he even said he responded to it saying, "I actually made this song with that in mind. Like I made
Hmm.
this song intentionally for HBCU band to be able to play, which I think is dope. And you can tell when you listen to it that it's really formatted and structured like that. So yeah, I think it's dope, man. I think that it adds a new life to songs, and it's funny because when I first heard "Not Like Us," I said, "Oh, the HBCU bands are gonna run with this because the horns in it." Like I was like, "Yeah, this
Yeah.
is gonna be different." Yeah, what you think about it?
Bro, it's fire. And I think like because it's always been a thing at HBCUs. Like I went to Alabama A&M's homecoming back in 2015, and I was blown away. That was the first time I really sat and saw like a HBCU band, bro. It's levels, dog. Like, shoot, I'm gonna shout out my alma mater, the 110 marching band. But I love y'all, but I ain't gonna lie, I've seen some heats, bro. Like I've seen some HBCU bands that could like it's
Yeah.
among the best of them. So the major rats, like you know what I'm saying, like doing their
Yep.
thing on top of the music, it's just different.
Yep.
I feel like Beyonce really like re-sparked that or brought more interest into like HBCU, like that band culture. You know what I'm saying? When she performed at I think it was Coachella, and then she did like maybe a documentary about her performance
I
on
remember that.
Maykill or something like that. Yeah. So it's just different levels, bro, and it makes you just have more of appreciation for our HBCUs because I mean, oftentimes, bro, they don't really get the attention that they need or
I
that
agree.
the recognition they deserve. You know what I mean? Like when I was living in Austin, Texas, there was an HBCU, Hudson Tillotson, and bro, I would ask Austin natives, like, have they been at HU? And they'd be like, or HTU, they'd be like, where's that at? You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's one of the oldest HBCUs in Texas, in Central Texas,
Mm,
especially. So yeah, I love the fact that, bands are able to do this and that the artists themselves are showing love too. That's
yeah.
big.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, man. The same thing, like even in your hometown, like I've been able to go down to Central State University to speak before
Mhm.
in Ohio, man. And the love you get at HBCUs, man, is it's just different, man. It's there's unfortunately we're in a society, especially in America, where you're rarely able to go to a university where the majority of the people look like you if you're black. So
Mhm.
to be able to be there and the professors and a lot of the administrators and you know what I mean are all within the same culture, man. It's a beautiful thing to be able to experience. And even when I went down there to speak last year, just the amount of love, man. The lecture I gave a lecture just on like professional development at Central State
Mhm.
last year, and just the response and love I got from the students there, man. It's just a completely different experience. So I got to shout out HBCUs, man. I want to see more. Actually, me and my girl was talking about going to a battle of the bands, man. I've never been to one.
Oh, it's fire, bro.
I need to experience that, man. So we got to find. I don't know which one in the South we're gonna pull up to, but that's on the list for next year.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they'll have like regional competitions too. I think that's what you're basically referring to. So
yeah,
I've been to one unintentionally, and I was like, I'm glad I'm here. Like, I don't know how I
yeah.
stumbled on this, but I'm glad I saw it. So, heck yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. We look. That's the move, man. So hip hop is able to, man, resonate across all of these different spectrums, and I think that hip hop embrace and not even just hip hop, because of course Beyonce is not a hip hop artist, but I feel like
yeah,
she's a part of the culture still. So,
for sure.
but for her to be able to shine that light on HBCUs the way she did, and bands specifically the way she did, I think it's dope, and I think it shines a light on the talent that's there. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bro, episode 21, man.
Oh, before you go, it's
Oh, hold on.
holidays, bro. What you
Oh,
listening to? What you tune
it's the
into,
it's
bro?
the holidays, man. Look, I dang near forgot. Today was the last day of classes though, so I'm happy, man. I need a little break. Um, yeah, man, I need a break. You know, I love my students and all, but yeah, I need this break.
Best.
Yeah, but man, not much, man. I'm gonna tell you what I have been listening to though. I just started diving into this new Freddie Gibbs album. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, so far I like it, man. Freddie Gibbs don't miss too much for me, man. I like Freddie Gibbs' sound. He got bars.
Hmm.
His subject matter can get redundant at times, but like he raps so well that I don't even care. I want to hear the drug talk. Cool, go for it. You know.
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs is nice though, man. So far I'm only like halfway through the album, but so far I like it. So Freddie Gibbs album is gonna be on my list of my playlist for this Thanksgiving. Of course, this new Kendrick now is gonna be on there. Um, I still been playing Soul Burger, man. And
Next year.
you know what I went back to the other
What?
day? Yo, the baby's album was good.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
I
Yeah,
know
it was
I know we
good.
said that when we reviewed it, but like there's some songs on there where I was like, nah.
Playback value, bro. It's
Yeah.
high.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This was a good year for hip hop.
It was solid. I would say it was a like, nah, it was solid
Nah, bro, it was a
because yeah,
lot of I think about just all the albums
yeah,
we reviewed. Like it's been a lot of albums this year.
yeah,
Like decent.
especially on the tail end. Yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah, if you got albums from both male and female artists. You got
Mhm.
the Kendrick tier, the Kendricks and the Coles. Then you got the lower tier, like the Cordays and the tier right above that, the Big Sean's. Like you really got almost
Yeah.
everybody to drop.
Honestly, like on every level at this
Yeah,
point. The only person
Eminem
that
dropped. Like hey, you got almost
Eminem dropped.
everybody to
So
drop.
you got the legends dropping. The only person that didn't drop, ironically, was Drake. He was
That's
probably
crazy.
the
Drake
only
hasn't
big
dropped this year.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't really have enough. We don't have time to dive too deeply into it, but quickly, man, I did just see the headline. This is in real time too, because I just saw it when I picked up my
Mm.
phone. Drake is actually suing United Universal Music Group for intending to uh, falsely over report the success of Not Like Us. I'm kid you not. Look it up. This just came out.
What's the who wrote it?
Somebody just sent it to me.
Who wrote it?
Who
Or
wrote
who
what? The article?
reported it? Yeah.
Everybody. Billboard. I saw it on Billboard. Somebody sent me the article on Billboard. Drake accuses UMG and Spotify to scheme to artificially inflate Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." In a legal petition, the Stars company accuses UMG of serious wrongdoing. Yeah, he just
That's
filed it today
that's
in the
pretty
Manhattan court.
it's pretty corny, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty
Lawsuits in hip hop is crazy. Lawsuits and rap beef is crazy. Not hip
crazy.
hop, but in rap beef. Like to
Yeah,
beef with
rap
somebody and then
beef.
be like, now I'm gonna sue about it. I mean, he's not suing Kendrick, so it's not, I mean, but still, it's just like,
What a like and then I saw some earlier. I don't know if it's like true that Drake is gonna do like some he's gonna do a string of concerts like on the day of the Super Bowl or something like that
hmm.
in another country. And I'm just like, bro, like that's just loser type of behavior. Like Drake isn't a loser. I don't want that to be said, but like it's corny, bro. Like it almost seems like he's just hating on the success. Because he could have sued him at any point or sued Universal Music Group, UMG, at any point. But why days after his album drop? Why a couple months before the Super Bowl? Why now? Why period? But especially now, like it just seems like if you wanted to kick yourself further while you're down, this is the way to do it. You know what I'm
That's true.
saying? Like
True.
it's just come on, bro. It's because even if you win the lawsuit, yeah, you get a bag from it, but Drake doesn't need a bag. So what's the actual MO here? Like what's the
Right.
actual underlying
But you know
thing?
what? If I'm not mistaken, Drake is also signed to Universal. So he's suing his own
Is
label.
he?
Yes.
Oh
He
wow.
signed one of the biggest deals in probably their biggest record deal. Let's see.
Wow.
Let me double check. Who is Drake
Because UMG
signed?
owns everything, bruh.
Yes, they
It's
do.
crazy.
Who is Joe? Yeah, he signed a $400 million record deal to Universal Music Group. So he's on his own label. But I guess Kendrick rolled out that song. Uh, like I know he did it under his own label, but I guess they're in partnership with them. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because again, Universal owns everything. So maybe he's tight about that. But if they're overinflating stuff, I mean, Billboard has reported like that song was the number one record for several weeks. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what the MO is, bro. Like, I would have to dig into the story because I'm sure there's details, you know what I mean? We have
yeah.
to look into, but it just seems on face value, it just seems super corny though.
It does. We'll do a deeper dive on the next episode and see what's going on with that. But yeah, man, people getting sued out here in these streets.
Again, so
They're getting
yeah,
sued, but bro, another dope episode, man. I think this might be our longest episode, to be honest.
it
We had a
might
lot. We had
be.
a lot. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, bro. Like we talked, shoot, half of it was the Kendrick album, but
Yeah,
that's what you gotta expect with something like that, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah, bro. We have to do a deep dive into that, especially when you got Earl coming on here talking crazy about two of the best songs on the album. That is crazy. I
Yeah.
cannot. But I'm telling you that
Mm-mm.
that is crazy. I mean, I knew you would like Peekaboo. Right? That much I did know.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
That's
I
how I'm
did expect you to like Peekaboo.
bro, that's gonna be my first words next pod, guaranteed, bro.
Bro, do not do Peekaboo, bro. The song I dislike the most on the album, hands down, my least favorite song on the album, hands down,
Yo, I love it, bro. I'm gonna play it as soon as we get off. 100%, bro.
bro. Another dope episode, episode 21. Hey, if y'all have not followed us, man, make sure y'all are following us on Instagram, TikTok, at Rap and Reason. If you're not subscribed yet, man, I don't know what you're waiting on, but go ahead, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, at Rap and Reason YouTube channel as well. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple, make sure you hit us with a review, share this with your friends, and let them know, man, we breaking down hip hop different.
Absolutely, man. Until next time, brother.
Until next time, man. Peace.